Let's talk skin. Let's talk truth. This is Barefaced Chat, and I'm Kelly Sainer. I've spent over 2 decades in aesthetics, seen behind the filters, under the makeup, and beneath the skin. On this podcast, we strip back the noise and get real about beauty, identity, and everything in between. In this episode, we discuss stigma in the arts, leadership for feminism, sisterhood, and changing attitudes towards aesthetics. Because skin isn't just skin, it's your story, and I'm here for it. I'm Kelly Sainer. Are you ready for some barefaced chat? Disclaimer. The views shared in this episode are personal opinion and are not intended as medical advice. Always consult with a qualified professional before making decisions about your skin or health. Today, my guest is Karen Cody. She is one of the wisest women I know and one of the most open-hearted. Karen is 59, a powerhouse in the arts and charity world, and someone who spent her career breaking down barriers, financial, social, and structural. For those trying to make a difference, Karen is your girl. She's a grants and relationships manager with a head for data and a heart for community. But she's one of my longest standing Skin Club members. She is a champion of self-investment and someone who brings the most thoughtful questions to my couch in clinic. We're going to talk about aesthetics in the arts, the pressure to look a certain way or look the part, the shift in attitudes post Pamela Anderson, because we discussed that, why beauty, sisterhood and feminism are not mutually exclusive. We may even touch on some journaling and leadership because when Karen visits, there is no topic off the table. We do everything. So, Karen, welcome to Barefaced Chat.
Thanks.
Thank you
Thanks for that lovely intro.
Oh, you're welcome.
Feeling a little bit warm. A little bit warm and fuzzy inside.
That's amazing. Does that, have I captured you?
Do you know what? You spend your life just doing your job. It's just like what you do. It's just who you are. So when kind of somebody kind of reads back to you how they see you, it's like, oh my God, is that, is that me? And it's a really lovely thing. Do you know what? It's just about being seen. I think,
so true.
When someone sees you, and I think particularly as a woman, when another woman sees a woman, and that's just like a special thing.
It is.
And I think as women, we're not particularly good at that.
Yeah, so true.
So kind of like to hear that back. You go, yay, I did some good.
Oh, I love that. I think that's right. I think from a long time ago, that like whole bitchy kind of stereotype, and the girls, guys are a bit more like macho and like we'll go on and we just have a fight and then we're over it the next day. Girls have got this like forever, in the playground, like, oh my God, really bitchy, and you don't know what someone's saying about you the next day. And I always find that really difficult. And so I used to get on really well with guys.
Yeah.
Because I found it easier.
Yeah, it's same. I think it's a little bit more like two of my best friends, particularly like those formative years, like 16 to 18 when you're at school, were guys. And it was just like, it was easier, it was simpler, it was more chilled, there was just less to navigate. You could just crack on with your life. You could just, and I think particularly if you were trying to like work out what I want to do next, where am I going? What's important to me? Like you're almost that early days of, what job am I going to do? What career am I going to do? Yeah. It's that with guys, they're like, it's just more simple. The conversation's more simple.
Are we saying they're more simple?
And well, possibly.
Are we saying they're more simple?
It's just more, I think it's more linear. So you can have that conversation about, I'm thinking about doing this job or I'm thinking about doing this career, and they go, yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Job done,
Basic building blocks, babe. They are the simplest.
Yeah. Whereas with women, it'd be like, oh, what do you want to do that for?
Absolutely.
And it's that constant questioning and criticising and not.
This is probably resonating with some guys as well.
Yeah. So I think there's something about women
Yes.
just be, but I wonder why women don't do that earlier on. Maybe it's a survival thing.
Maybe it is. I mean, forever in the media, we've been saying, haven't we, like tearing women down, and why aren't we just going to stand for women? And, I think it's not cool to do that.
Yeah.
But it is. I think it's cool.
It is. But I think there's also an element of men tearing women down as well.
Absolutely.
So the pool of people tearing women down is much bigger.
Absolutely.
And so therefore I think you get into this kind of mode where you either go, do you know what?
So true.
I want to navigate this. So I'm just going to go the simplest way and my mates are going to be blokes early on. Or I'm going to go the simplest way and I'm just going to hunker down and I'm just going to, or I've got to overcompensate. I've got to be ambitious. I've got to, everything I've got to do twice as hard and twice as well and twice as whatever to get to where I want to go.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I think the fear of rejection for me is massive.
Yeah.
Like that's, on social media, all of that, and being in a room of women, a pack of women is much more intimidating to me than a pack of men.
Yeah. But the women who empower other women are the best people on the planet.
Agree.
They are the best leaders. They are the strongest leaders. They are just the most brilliant people. And when you find them, they're like gold.
100%. And you work with a few, don't you? And you think, I want to be like you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And I think every girl should have that opportunity because they need that mentor or that goal, and whether that's a sports person or a just a person in their life or a person at school that they just aspire to be, that they see as a woman that's empowering other women.
Yeah, 100%. I've worked with a few and they will always be there for me.
Yeah.
Always be there. Yeah. But here we go again. This is what we do, right? We just go off on tangents and we love it.
Off topic already.
But we are going to be looking at a few different themes, and I want to bring it back to what the themes that we want to explore today are, which are going to be like the arts, leadership, feminism, sisterhood, and changing aesthetics, attitudes towards aesthetics. So my first question to you would be, as somebody with a career in the arts and charity world, did you ever feel that there was a stigma around aesthetics treatments, around this world, around beauty, around looking good? Had you thought about it being in the job that you're in? Or
I think definitely, because there's a whole movement around roles for women in film, TV, and kind of on stage. And I think, what I'm absolutely loving at the moment, particularly in film and TV, is the rise of female directors that are changing the narrative. But oh my God, they've got to fight really hard for that. Because principally the investors that bring, stage to life, theatre to life, TV to life are male-led.
Yeah.
I think there's a real lack of kind of female investors and female philanthropy. Absolute kudos to those women that are breaking down kind of those barriers and that. So I think the shift is happening, but I think the shift needs to be matched by the thing about the creative industries is that they have to be funded in some which way. Right. And it relies on funding and money.
Got you.
And funding and money is principally managed by men. So I think that is a challenge for sure. So I think there is a slight shift. I think there is there's kind of two sides to it. And I think it depends on, particularly with young women, because sort of like 15 through to 25, 26, 27, there is this whole movement, somewhat from kind of reality TV programs for sure, around a certain look, a certain amount of work being done, exposure to lots of kind of media channels around beauty products from a really, really early age now. Yeah.
As young as 9 even.
Yeah. And I think there's that pressure. And again, it's that girl pack mentality. As soon as one person starts, the other person will start to use, the other will want to look, the pressure that they put on themselves in a group to kind of have that look and be that way. But I also think there's a rising generation of older women who are changing some of that narrative for their daughters and the people that are in their sphere of influence around. I mean, Pamela Anderson is a really good example around, you know, what classic beauty looks like and how you can do this differently and how you can be more natural.
I mean, gone were the days. I was thinking the other night about the film Clueless. I mean, called Clueless.
Yeah.
And then Baywatch. With the, like Pamela and, you know, that was our reality. That was our idea. We aspired to be like Clueless.
I know.
We aspired to be like Baywatch. I did.
But I think this shift in...
But she's just smashed it.
Oh, absolutely. And it's this shift in like these women stepping into these kind of leader roles behind the camera, behind, you know, in terms of like stage direction, you know, some amazing female producers and directors on stage, amazing. There's a lot of amazing older female actors within stage, but there needs to be more roles and more opportunity and more. And it's just reliant on a small few women who've got the balls and the guts and the backing and the financial backing to kind of do that journey and do it and make it happen. So I think there's that tranche of, going back to what I was saying, there's that tranche of women around that 15 to kind of 25 with this very polished kind of look. I think there will be some leftovers from that as that generation kind of grows older. But I also think there's a generation of women that are trying to do that in a different way, in a more natural way. And I think it is a generational thing. And I'm fascinated because I've got a 25-year-old daughter, and I'm fascinated in like her generation, my generation. My mum is still alive. She's 85. And the difference between my mum at 85, me at 59 and my daughter at 25. You've got 3 generations of women who are at different points, who've had different exposure to aesthetics and beauty. So each of us are consuming in a very different way.
Yeah, I totally see that. And how can we change the conversation when we've got reality TV like Love Island? We've got Instagram and social media becoming so much more prevalent and setting the narrative for what our beauty ideals look like. Even though we're getting better, if we've got that for that millennial, Gen Z, whatever, then we've got, you know, our era, I would say. Generationally, we've got some of this, a similar outlook, even though, you know, we're perhaps 10 years apart. But, you know, and then, of course, my mum's age, your mum's age, and then my dad's 82, and my mum's 75. And how are we able to tell the younger generation? I've got a 19-year-old, and his girlfriend is still, she aspires to, her role models are Love Island stars.
Yeah.
If we're trying to shift the narrative now and do things a bit differently and look great for the way that we are, how do we do that when we've...
So 25, not even 25. When I was 18, I just wanted to be Susie Sue off Susie and the Banshees. I was on a proper punk moment. So that was what I wanted to look like. And I think that is the thing.
Yeah.
So kind of like what you're exposed to at the age you are is what you want to look like.
Yes, true. Very true, generationally.
The thing is, back in the day, you would just be watching music. Yes. You know, musicians were kind of the thing, of course. The thing.
Diana Ross, I was like, I want her like Diana Ross.
Yeah. And I think, so there's something about the fact that now we're exposed to so much more visual content, whether that's on social media, whether that's on TV. I mean, my God, you know, back in the day, there were only 4 channels.
Yeah, that's right,
And I remember MTV starting. It was like the best thing ever.
It was amazing.
So it's that it's that visual element. So I think you've got a generation now that are looking at Love Island social. I want to look like that. You know, they're there, Susie and the Banshees, you know, Susie Sues of the now.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, at my age, I'm now exposed to social media and But what I love and what I'm embracing at my age and at my time of life is, you know, the fact that Pamela Anderson is walking down there. And even though I know Kate Moss has had work, and she still has a natural beauty about her, I think.
I agree. There is still that like cohort, isn't there?
Yeah.
Isn't there, that do look amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still not
OTT.
as polished and as done as kind of what I call the Love Island cohort. And I'm sorry, Love Island, because it's just a simplistic term I'm using. So I think there's that I want to be like that now.
I totally get that. I mean, the thing is, though, don't forget when we were looking at those, like that supermodel era, it was like heroin chic was in.
Yes.
That like bony, twiggy, sticky, thinny, like, you know, that was in. That like no makeup look.
Yeah. Pale.
Pale.
Yeah.
You know, and that was the ideal then.
Yeah.
So, you know, fillers wouldn't have been on the table because that would make your face look cute.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I mean, done correctly, obviously not. But, you know, I think that's completely fascinating. And I love your perspective on this, especially with the job that you do and looking through that lens, because I think anybody listening to this that is in the arts or has got any appreciation for that will totally, it will resonate with them like it does with me every time I talk to you. So given that then, and you started your journey with us, what changed your mind, or what brought you to the clinic? Because you were a founding, you were an OG of the Skin Club.
Do you know what? It's been such a lovely journey, the whole thing. And I was trying to work out, how long have I been coming here now? I'm in my second year of Skin Club. That I do know. But I think I started like 6 months before that.
Yeah, you
so
did,
it must be like 2.5 years.
Yeah, my God.
I would have been just past 55, maybe kind of just as I reached 55. I was 10 years into menopause. So I started at 46, which is not very early, but is still at the early end of.
Absolutely.
And I really massively struggled. None of my friends were going through it at all. I was very much on my own. I kind of had a lot of related sort of health kind of problems, challenges. And it was a really tough 5 years of those 46 to 51, just navigating that alone. And it was that time when 10 years ago, there was no real conversations about menopause. You know, that's been an absolute brilliant thing in the last 2 years for sure, that the conversation around menopause and the impact that it has on women has been significantly raised. And that's where social media has been an absolute force for good on that.
Yeah.
And kind of reality TV and breakfast shows, etc.
Yeah.
And there's been some really good champions on that. And Davina McCall's been brilliant on that, you know, really raising the profile and talking about it. So I think I was deep in navigating that and all of its complexities. And of course, it has a massive impact on your skin, massive impact on your hair, that sort of your identity really and how you look and you struggle with it. And it's like, and there comes a point where you get to, it's like, okay, I'm now on the HRT, I'm taking the collagen, I'm doing this, and it's like still not enough.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's just hard, and it's really hard. Never mind the emotional stuff. If you're in a relationship, kind of, I do feel sorry for like any partners that have, because it is hard and that's been bumpy as well. So you're trying to navigate all of that in your little head and trying to hold down a full-time job and trying to bring your kids up in their formative years. So it's
hard. You're facing a lot. Right?
It is. It's just like a lot. So I think there came a point where, and then for me, when I was a lot younger, I really had bad acne and really struggled with that and had a lot of confidence issues around that. And that had quite, I look back on it and I think that had more of an impact on my life than I probably recognised. But I had rosacea and that was the one thing that was really pissing me off the most. Because I have a lot of meetings. I talk to a lot of people, and I just go into rooms and I just literally go bright red.
It's so debilitating.
And it's just horrible. And people are thinking, oh, really? Bit early for the wine, Karen, you know, and it's the whole stigma attached to it and all the rest of it.
So unfair.
And it took me 2 years to think, okay, I know I can do something about this because, you know, Google's a wonderful thing and you can look it all up. I know I can do something about this. I need to do it. I want to do it. And then I just kept putting it off because, you know, things get in the way. Just like you just put it off. You're not the priority in all the things you're trying to hold up in the world.
Where do I fit me into all of this?
Yeah. And then I think I just did a bit more. I can't remember what the tipping point was. There must have been a little point where I thought enough's enough. Now, probably my kids pissed me off, and I just thought, do you know what? I'm literally, you're 18 and 23 now. Go away or whatever. It's my time now. It probably was something like that. And I'd done a little bit of research, and I found you online, and my single priority was rosacea and my thread vein. That was my kind of thing.
Okay.
And I thought, do you know what? This is going to sound really weird, and apologies to everyone where I live, but I didn't want to go local. It's the same reason I kind of use a different hairdresser as well, is because you get into that local, you know, so-and-so from so-and-so, so-and-so from so-and-so, so-and-so. I didn't want to discuss my kind of journey with anybody else other than the person, you, that I was coming to. And that's kind of like why. And also like great reviews, great reputation, and singularly you offered what I was looking for because I'd done all my research. And it was that foot through the door thing.
Okay.
And that one step through the door thing was a massive thing for me.
Okay.
And I think the first few times I came to see you, I'm getting a bit emotional now because I do think I cried. I think I cried a few times because it was such a big deal for me to invest in me.
100%.
And probably the first time I'd done that since I was like, I don't know, 15, 16 or whatever.
That's so incredibly powerful. And thank you for saying that, because we have shared a tear together on the couch because it means so much to me as well. And that's why I do it, because of you, genuinely. And that is, I wouldn't want anybody to feel intimidated or worried or scared or like they can't invest in themselves. And it's so incredibly important for me, for you to feel 100% you.
You know, that first foot through the door, it was reassurance.
Good.
You know, and it's that, I can help you with that.
Amazing.
I can help you with that. And it's as simple as that. And the fact that you did help me with that. Not only did you say that, but you did.
Okay.
You know, so there's the follow through.
Yes.
And I think, especially when you are a career woman, we all get, and this will resonate with you, we all get slightly obsessed with, you say that, but you haven't delivered on that. You say that, but you've not followed through on that. You say that. And it's like, it's ingrained in you.
I'm that guy. Yeah.
You know, like after so many, you know, like 30, 40 years of working, it's just how you work.
It is.
Isn't it? So the fact that you said, I can help you with that, and then you did, it's like a perfect combination of things, isn't it?
Oh.
And it was a journey of like 6 sessions or something. I can't remember. But you were really clear about, this is the journey. This is what we're going to do. These are the results.
Good.
You know, you're not going to walk out of here and be fixed straight away. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Yeah.
You recognised as well that I have, I'm saying some, and I mean a tiny little bit, some intelligence around like science and skincare.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked questions, you answered them, and I got, you know, it's like, oh, so what happens? What happens to the vein? What happens to that? What happens to your skin underneath? And you were like off on one on a science lesson, and I'd be going, whoa, hang on a minute, you've lost me there.
Yeah.
But I really like that.
Oh,
and I really responded really well to that, because I thought, do you know what? Kelly knows her shit. She knows what she's talking about. That's fascinating to me. I want to understand how my skin's working or not working.
Amazing. That's great.
That for me was also part of the journey.
Okay, good.
Bizarrely.
No, I like that, because some patients are very like, no, I just don't, tell me, just there's the needle there, whatever, don't, just do it. And I'm like, do you not want to know? I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to get into like understanding what's happening to me.
Yeah.
And lots of patients will, and I'll have been to other clinics, and they'll go, I'll say, what have you had? I don't know what they did. I'm like, what? How do you not know what happened to you? I find it really bizarre. So when you are like in and you want to understand, because that's the kind of girl you are.
Yeah.
That I'm like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
So,
and I think it's just being curious. And I absolutely get it. Everybody's different. My daughter would be like, don't tell me, don't want to know, just crack on with it. She's very different. But I just find it's fascinating. And I think also what that then did was, I think that curiosity and that knowing that, you could help me and that you followed through and that you delivered.
Yeah.
Those two things then led me onto other things and other treatments and other, like, oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. And that feels okay to me. Because my thing is, I want to, against the backdrop of like, menopause, etc., and putting myself up first a little bit. It was about, I want to look the best I can at the age I am. Mm-hmm. I don't want to look like done.
Yeah.
That's how I describe it. I don't want to look done. That's not me. I don't feel comfortable with that. But I do want to look better. I kind of want to kind of look just that little bit more. Yeah, and I don't want people to go, oh, what have you had done? What have you had done? I don't want people to do that, because I don't want the attention on me, and I don't like that. But I just want to, and I'm not doing it for anybody else. I'm doing it for myself.
Absolutely.
And I know when I've had a little bit of a gap with kind of some of my RFI and my kind of my redness stuff. And I just come in.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, my redness is just, and you go, right, okay, what we'll do is you've become empowered in your journey now. And hopefully I have had a part in that, because you are curious. And I think that's what drives us in our conversation. Yeah.
You don't always have that with people. Yeah. And we are super curious together. We talked about journaling early on, didn't we? We were like, have you done it? We held ourselves accountable.
We did.
I got a diary.
You did.
Did you?
You followed through. I did not follow through.
My God.
It's on my list to do. But that's so you. It's like, I'm doing this, I'm following through, and I'm delivering.
I'm doing it.
But I think when you were thinking about one of the things that became quite apparent with me, like early on when I was coming, was that it was a journey and and then like I wasn't particularly good at making appointments, and then I cancelled them because I got a meeting and then so Skin Club for me was like the perfect solution. It just took all of the hassle out of it. Amazing. It's like you've got 12 months of appointments, and also for money wise as well, because like money is a thing. Yeah. And I think particularly when you're investing in yourself, there's always something else to spend your money on, like your kids or your partner or like going on holiday, or like something needs doing in the house, or some, your parents need, or whatever it is. And it's really about, it's a structure. I can operate within it. It takes the hassle out of organising the appointments. Yeah. I know how I'm budgeting, which is brilliant. I love that aspect of it. I can budget for the month. Mm-hmm. But it's still responsive, because I will come in for one session, like I've just said, and my redness will be flaring up a little bit. And you go, right, okay, next session, we'll move that, we'll change, we'll swap that around. And so it's bespoke. Exactly.
It's tailored to you.
Exactly.
It's not an off the peg.
No.
And that's what we love about it.
Yeah.
It's really bespoke. When we say it's bespoke, we mean it.
And when you were starting off, I was going, oh my God, well, you need to consider this, you need to consider that. But I think you're absolutely, it has to be bespoke, because things change.
Your skin's an organ.
Skin change, and it's a living thing, isn't it? And it changes. It's not like a theatre membership scheme where you're buying tickets for a show.
That was very useful. Yes. Because it's a business framework and a business model, and I do like that as well.
This is true. And almost it's that moment where you just go, I don't have to think about that.
Yeah.
And anything for me that is one less thing to think about in my life, absolute winner.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. And you've just like bottled that and like nutshelled it, because that's where we started. That's where we are now. And you are the epitome of that. And that's really helped me refine and define what Skin Club is to people.
Yeah.
Because of our talks. And we said the other day that like people are put in your lives, and, you know, we have conversation that's not just surface.
Yeah.
We say, how are you?
Yeah.
And, you know, not everybody does that either. And that's absolutely fine. But let me just bring this back. You've answered all of these questions because we can just wax lyrical about this kind of stuff. We don't need to keep on topic.
You're like 10-hour podcast.
Let's like rip this up, throw them away, because we can just do it anyway. But I just wanted to ask you a very specific question about the regulation, or the lack of regulation in the industry.
Yeah.
So you've worked in funding and governance for decades. Now, does the beauty or the aesthetics industry feel unregulated to you by comparison?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah,
Big time.
Let's explore that.
I think it has such a huge impact on particularly young girls.
Yeah.
You know, it's that, at what point should you really not be messing with your skin?
Yeah.
And kind of, and when I say messing, and that could just be products that you're buying off the shelf with different chemicals in, or treatments, or anything like that, because, you know, it's still in its natural formative kind of time frame. But that's true at any age, you know, absolutely at any age. And I think the fact that, you know, anybody can settle. I don't know. I mean, this is kind of not my area at all. But for me, it's really about, and it's one of the things when I was Googling and I was checking, I wanted, and, you know, they have to be an approved practitioner. There's got to be some sort of substance under that, qualifications, X, Y, Z, because, oh my God, if you get it wrong, it's horribly wrong. And you see the horror stories. But I think for all the horror stories you see, there will be so many more that you don't, because fundamentally there will be a massive embarrassment around that for women, that they went to get some work done and it didn't work. And I should think there's a huge raft of stories uncovered around that, I think, that are not in the public domain, that people don't know about. And I think that is such a shame, because what that does is those practitioners can still practice and can still, you know, it's the same thing as malpractice in like the health industry. And it is the same. It is, because it's the same impact. This is your body, and you've really got to look after it. You've really, really got to look after it. And you can't just put anything into it.
I agree. On that note, you know, I think the stigma that's around women not sharing the story about, because there is that, like, what if it goes wrong? What if they know I have toyed with my had work done? There's a real connotation,
absolutely,
isn't there, around that? And like you were saying about keeping natural, like, you look amazing, like you don't look your age at all, and we've just enhanced bits of you, you know, genuinely, like we've done it so naturally, and on, you know, talking rosacea as well, just on that note, like it affects like 40% of the population. It's a big group of people that are suffering with it. So for that to be at the start of your journey, and for you to feel like you wanted to address that, but still feel natural, it moved you on to other things. I feel that there's still this stigma around, who do I tell? What goes wrong? Oh my God. So I think that that's something that we really need to allow women to do. I always say, like, the cat was out of the bag when we started to dye our hair, when we started to wear makeup. Like, it's okay. You can say that you can have it, but I understand it's a really personal journey, and there's a real stigma around affording it even, you know?
I think there is, and I think it's that. Why would you spend that much money on your face? Why would you spend that much money on your body? It's that when you buy a new pair of shoes and you hide them in the wardrobe and then you get them out.
There's a guilty around it.
Yeah, there is, isn't there? There's a real guilt. The women are terrible at guilt tripping themselves.
Yeah.
There is that thing about spending money on yourself because you spend it on, you know, your kids first or your partner first or your parents or your house or your...
I think the mindset of Skin Club allows you to feel better about that guilt thing.
Yeah, I think it does, because I think you can... That's interesting.
Feels a bit more responsible because you're budgeting.
Yeah, why is it different than buying a pair of shoes and hiding them in your wardrobe?
In the same way that I use Klarna for everything. I feel like I've not spent it.
Yeah, it's that.
If I could buy it in 3, I've not really bought it.
Yeah, and maybe that's it, because it's kind of going out your bank account as a direct debit, and therefore technically as a bill.
Oh, that subscription model's like saved thousands of women from like the arguments at home. I mean, I can send it all back. You know? It's like,
maybe there is. Maybe this. It's like not real money.
I think so, because it's not a credit card, so you don't feel like you've been too irresponsible.
Yeah, and it is that.
Thing.
I mean, my daughter puts everything on, you know, she lives away from home. Everything is paid for on a direct debit, you know, like a car insurance, so, you know, all the bills, like I think most people kind of pay their bills on a direct debit, but everything she puts on a monthly payment because that allows her to budget. Yes. And that's a good way for her to manage her money.
Absolutely.
And I think it is a good way. So it falls into that category, doesn't it?
It does. It feels responsible buying.
Yeah, it's responsible rather than the ad hoc. Oh, look at those shoes. They're amazing. I have to have them.
100%. I heard, I was listening to a podcast by Mel Robbins and I just love her. She's amazing. And one of the things that she says is like, tell yourself, if you can't buy it twice, you don't buy it at all.
Yes.
I was like, great. So now just stop. If you can't buy it twice, don't buy it once.
But you know, I think this is the female psyche, because there is also the other thing about, that's a fabulous pair of shoes, ridiculous price, but I know I'm going to wear that so many times and therefore pence per wear, that's going to work out.
Yes.
So literally you're calculating all the time about things that you want to buy for yourself.
Yeah.
You're always calculating. And yet,
I think you're allowed fuck it moments. I think you're also going, well, I want to buy it, so I'm buying it.
And yet, you know, there are people that just go, I'm just going to buy it, I'm just going to buy it, and just live their lives and just, what I've got is what I spend.
Yeah.
And then there is a whole massive raft of people who can't even do any of that, you know? And I think it's that comes back to that budget element. I've got so much, I can't buy that. And there are times in my life when me and my partner have been in survival mode, you know, literally day to day to day to day. And that's horrible.
Yeah.
And it's like, and you just don't have any choices then. No. There are no choices to be had. I think when you do have choices, it is a wonderful thing. And I'm really grateful that I have choices, and I had the choice to do something about my skin, you know, and I was able to, and I could afford to do it at that point in time.
Yeah.
But that's the conversation that but that's what Skin Club's good for, because it still helps me budget and it still helps me plan.
And be you, because you've taken charge in that.
Yeah.
You've decided that now's the time to reappropriate. And I think you said that I've moved money around for me.
Yeah. And I genuinely have, you know, and it's like, I mean, I haven't bought a single item of new clothing for, it must be over a year now.
No way.
It must be over a year now. Easily. So I think it is about that choice, choices you make.
100%.
You know. So 100%. I think it's about prioritizing, isn't it? But I think as women, prioritizing ourselves is something we're not particularly good at.
No, absolutely.
The more responsibilities you have, the less priority for yourself you have. And
I agree.
And you get stuck. You're almost stuck. And that's a big tranche of your life. Yeah. And I was listening to, I think I was saying to you, Jojo Moyes I think she was on Radio 4, about this generation of women that are just holding up the sky. I've got elderly parents, kind of young teenage, formative years children, are single parents or have a partner and are working and are trying to hold literally all of those things up in some which way. Wow. So looking after yourself is way bottom of the list.
Of course.
And that is a generational.
It is a generational thing.
Generational thing.
I've shifted my mindset fairly recently into appreciating and believing if I am not the best version of me, there is if I can't take care of me, if I can't love me, there's no way I could love anybody else.
Yeah.
So I have to carve time out for me.
And I think that's right, because you can't hold up the sky unless you're the best version of yourself.
I didn't believe it for a while.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to sit in it.
Yeah.
But I've just started to realise that that's the right thing to do.
It is, because you can't bring good energy to your kids and your job and the work that you do. And I think in your role, it's a little bit like my role, like supporting artists, and is that we have to bring good energy to our jobs.
Definitely.
And sometimes that's quite exhausting and it's tiring.
Yeah.
And that's why you really have to look after your own and believe in yourself and go, do you know what?
So true.
I can't give you my best self and help you and support you unless me and myself
are good. Yeah.
In all the ways that being good is, like mentally and physically and just how you feel about yourself and how you are.
I totally agree. Given that, then, I really want to just talk a bit about feminism and whether you are a feminist?
Oh, do you know what? I am having a real feminist moment. And again, I think generational things. When I was younger, absolutely.
Right.
And I worked in retail, which was like supermarket retail, very male dominated. To be fair, my first manager was a male manager and he was absolutely brilliant. He was really good. I love male managers that really empower and support women. And I've had two kind of in my working career that have been amazing. And at different points in my career as well. The first was when I was kind of young, and the second one was when I had young children. My daughter was young. Particularly at this point in time, I am really absolutely a feminist.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. I have to keep apologising to my husband.
I get that vibe.
I do. I'm sorry, but I'm about to have and I'm sorry to our technician in the room as well. I'm about to have my white man rant at the moment.
Oh, what did you tell me? That
male, pale and stale, apparently, as it's called in Australia, which I found out recently, which I think is a very good.
That's hilarious.
Kind of good phrase.
Male, pale and stale. We want to get those guys out. So given that then, that we both believe in feminism to a degree and the stigma around like feminism and aesthetics, and you might have women that like are on the absolute staunch, why would you change the way you looked? You don't need to do any of that. True. That's not where I sit.
No.
That's not where I can. That's not where I do. I don't think that's where you sit.
I don't sit there, no.
But if you were really like challenging yourself on these and speaking to feminists that were staunchly this way, do you think that they would think that you could be a feminist and be taken seriously with getting fillers and Botox and stuff like that?
So for me, I think the fundamentals of feminism, for me, this is my take on it, and I can hear people shouting at, listeners, they're shouting at me. But, I can sit with this. Feminism is about having choices.
Love that.
And as soon as anyone, male, female, anyone anywhere takes away your choices, then that's not right.
Oh.
So if you are a young girl who wants to be an accountant, an architect, and you're not in an environment, or if you have someone saying you'll never be that, you won't be that, immediately you're taking away her choices.
Wow.
Okay? And when in a group of girls, they're saying to each other, oh, you don't want to do that, you want to look like this, you want to look like that, and that girl is saying, actually, I don't want to do that. That group of girls is taking away that girl's choices that she is making. So as soon as anyone takes away choices, so if someone says to me, you can't be a true nerd, they are taking away my choice for me.
That is such an amazing way to
and that's
look
how
at
I
it,
see it.
Put it. Wow. Thank you.
That's my takeaway.
That's an amazing takeaway. And I think what an amazing chat we've had, how interesting you are. I would love you to come back again. I think we've got so much we can talk about. We can really deep dive on everything. Give us one topic and we'll turn it into 10.
Just talk a lot.
You know it. Well, thank you, Karen. I just love and will continue to love every conversation that we have. We are both curious and will continue to be curious.
It's the best thing.
It is. It keeps us moving. The best thing. Personal growth. But no, I really appreciate you joining me today. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. It's been, as always, one of those moments when I come out of a conversation with you and go, I do this a lot, like mind blowing, because that's the conversation we have. But it's built on trust. It's built on kind of no topics off limits. Yeah. I don't think, and if they are, then I think we would be at a point of saying, actually, I don't want to talk about that. Not, 100%. We would say, and that is important to say, I don't want to talk about that. Yeah. But yeah, no, thanks. Enjoyed that. Another great chat.
Yeah. Hey, smashed it. Karen, you're amazing. So thank you. That's it for today's Barefaced Chat. Thank you so much for listening. If you've loved this conversation, make sure you follow, rate, and share. It really helps more people find us and join the conversation. I'll be back next week with another honest, unfiltered chat. Because skin isn't just skin. It's your story. And I'm here for it.